10, 9, ignition sequence start.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. We have a liftoff. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Orbit Sports Podcast, presented by Shotgun Sports Network. I'm Daniel.
I'm Frazier.
Strap in, we're ready for launch. So first up this week, we're going to talk about the Cosmic Goats and the Huntsville City FC's match against the Orlando Lions. They premiered in New Jersey, the International Orange it was, Frazier?
Yes, that is correct.
I don't know if I'm a fan. I just don't think it matches. It looks like a jail prison outfit.
Well, with the goalie having the lime green, I think it pops and stands out from all the other teams.
I agree that it does. It definitely stands out. You can't miss them, that's for sure.
Yep. And one thing to note, all their jerseys that they're wearing this year are the ones that they had last year. So they didn't present a new jersey.
So that's not a new jersey. That was a jersey they wore last year?
That's one they wore last year.
Oh, that's interesting. Regardless, Huntsville City FC won the match 3-1, and we're going to dive into some of the stats here. Huntsville looked pretty well passing the ball. They passed for 471 times for 85.69%. That seems like a pretty good passing percentage.
Yes, that is a very good passing percentage.
They seemed pretty dominant. Mohammed seemingly dominated this game with 2 goals. He scored his first goal from 28 foot unassisted to give him an early 1-0 lead. And then Huntsville City FC would score another goal from 33 foot from Knight with an assist from Eck, making it 2-0. However, Orlando answered back with a goal from 45 plus 3. So here's my question. As somebody who doesn't know soccer, what is the plus 3?
The plus 3 is considered stoppage time. So like if a player was to get injured on the field, the clock still keeps running, but they have to, somebody off field takes account of all the times that they stop and add that at the end of the 45 minutes and at the end of the 90 minutes of the second half.
So the added stoppage time goes into each half?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So they weren't finished yet, and Mohammed would score another goal to put them up 3-1 and kind of get it out of reach for the Lions. They never really answered from that point. And it seems that they had a good bit of fouls. They had 10 fouls and 4 yellow cards. So my question for you is, what is the difference between fouls and yellow cards?
Well, first off, fouls can lead to yellow cards depending on the severity of the foul. If the ref sees that you're going for the ball, but you accidentally trip the player, they'll just call a foul and you'll kick the ball from right there.
Okay.
But now, if the ref sees you intentionally go in at him, he'll give you a yellow card. But now, if you get 2 yellow cards in a match, then that's considered a red card, and you go down 1 man the rest of the match.
Oh, wow. So they take a whole man off the field for the rest of the match.
Yes, a whole man off the field for the rest of the match.
So it's not just the player is off the field. It's an actual person, regardless if it was substituted or not.
Yes.
So what warrants a red card?
A red card is warranted by 2 yellow cards or a severe flagrant foul. Let's say the goalie is going to catch the ball, and you run up and you tackle the goalie. Depending on how severe the tackle is, you can either get a yellow card or you can get a red card.
So yellow and red is mainly at the ref's discretion?
Yes.
Okay. Now my question is if you get, say you have one week and you get another yellow card the next week, does that issue you a red? Like, how does this work? Does enough add up, or is it only in one game?
Now, depending on the type of competition that you have.
Okay.
Like if you have a competition where you're doing leg 1 and leg 2, then it'll roll over to that.
Now, what do you mean by leg 1 and leg 2?
So it's a competition like, let's say, for instance, like in the MLS, they'll do a competition called the CONCACAF Championships Cup, where they'll do 2 different legs where one team will play at home and then the other team will play at home.
Okay.
And leg 1 and leg 2, and your total of your goals scored roll over together.
So does that also carry into the next pro?
The next pro, they typically don't do competitions like that because they're a development type league.
Right.
So they're trying to develop Like Huntsville City FC is trying to be developed so they can move up to the Nashville Soccer Club.
Okay, that makes sense. So just a few days later, Huntsville traveled to Charlotte to take on the Crown Legacy. And from the little bit that I got to watch of this match, Crown Legacy absolutely dominated. I think the end score was like 7-2. Is that right?
Yeah, 7-2.
I think that is absolutely insane to give up 7 goals. There seems to have to be some kind of breakdowns that happen.
So it was a combination of our defense and our goalie.
Okay.
They just it's like when you travel a good distance from Orlando to Charlotte, you're gonna get tired over time.
That is definitely a nice road trip for
Yeah,
sure.
it is a good road trip, and it's just like their teamwork just felt off.
And this road trip was only a few days apart. I mean, I think they only played 3 or 4 days apart to go from down to Orlando, play your opening game, travel to Charlotte, and be on a bus ride, seemingly a day.
Yeah, because their
at that
first match
point.
was on a Monday, and their second match was on a Friday.
Yeah. So, I mean, they didn't have much time to rest there.
No, there's not much resting on. Plus, their practice schedule could have been thrown off by that. So they were
that
having
makes
to
perfect
practice
sense.
on the road, so they just weren't fluent with their practice. So they really couldn't take time to fix the mistakes they made in the first game, which there wasn't a lot of mistakes, but they didn't get enough time to do it. And the Crown Legacy were at home, and they had all the opportunities to be on point.
I mean, that makes sense. It's a lot easier to be at home and play and not have the travel, much less opening 2 away games in a row. So, next week, we've got Atlanta. We travel to Atlanta. You can watch the game on OneFootball or MLSNextPro.com. I usually like to watch it on YouTube as well. And that is our mascot, Alfie. And he likes to orbit the table at times, so just keep an eye out.
He is an orbiter, and sometimes you'll hear him meow. That's just him putting his input in. And also, to feedback on Atlanta, they typically play their games at Kennesaw State's campus.
Okay. So, going into this, if you look at the stats, leads Atlanta in shots on goal, passing accuracy, corners, crosses, fouls, and yellow cards. So it seems they dominate most of the statting categories, some good, some bad. But it seems like it could be a good matchup for Huntsville to kind of clean some of these things up from Charlotte. And I mean, it is on the road, but Charlotte to Atlanta is not much of a trip.
No, not really at all.
They get some time off. I'm sure they're going to come home for a little bit, take
Yeah.
a day or two, get some practices in at home, get that gel that they really need after that Charlotte loss. What are your predictions for this game?
Well, I think Atlanta is going to come out with a chip on their shoulder because they've seen how Huntsville can dominate Orlando, but also with that chip on their shoulder, they're going to do that because they know that Huntsville can be beat right now because of the way Crown Legacy dominated them.
So that you think they're just going to kind of take a page out of Crown Legacy's book and try to beat Huntsville that way?
I think that Atlanta is going to try to get Huntsville to get some fouls and get some yellow cards so they can get some corners, or they can get some penalty kicks, or they can get some free kicks.
So try to get Huntsville to kind of play off of their game a little bit, play a little bit more into Atlanta's game, and try to beat them that way?
Yes, but ultimately, I think Huntsville's going to come out with the win.
Okay. I do agree with you. Looking at the stats, and I'm a stats guy, I think Huntsville does win this game, and I'm going to say by at least 2 goals.
Yes, I'm predicting it's going to be 5-3.
5-3. That's pretty bold. I was going to go like 3-1.
That's a good prediction too.
I think it's going to be another repeat of the Orlando game. They're going to dominate in passing. They're going to get their shots on goal. They're going to play a clean game and come out on top.
Yep.
All right, so let's move into the next part. And this is the part I am most excited about.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Let's talk Havoc hockey.
Yes.
This is probably one of the tightest SPHL playoffs that they've ever had. There's only 5 points that separate 2nd to 7th place. And if that's not tight, I don't know what is.
Yes, from 57 points all the way down to 52. That is insane.
Yeah. I mean, this is this late in the season. We're getting ready to push for playoffs coming in April. Every game is a must win for almost every team at this point.
Yes, but then you look at Peoria. They're 12 points ahead.
Yeah, I think they've got the season kind of locked up in first place. I think they're going to win the regular season.
Yes.
I don't think the second place team, Pensacola and Evansville, or I guess that's second and third.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to catch them.
No, and then you look at Marksman; they just don't have it this year.
No, I feel kind of bad for those guys.
Yeah.
They're a very tough team.
They are.
I know Huntsville went to Fayetteville earlier in the season, and that was some really good hockey. They both played really well. It seems that everybody kind of has their best stuff when they come to play Hunt.
I think the other teams are jealous of Huntsville in a way because the Booster Club supports them,
Yeah,
gives them meals, and we have just the best crowd. We got
the rowdiest crowd in the South, baby.
yes, and we've just got the best production just of the graphics that are on the ice.
Yeah,
When we do that,
agreed.
and we have the app with the light show, and
Yeah, there's not a lot of places that have a lot of those things. I know I've been to Birmingham a few times. Birmingham has a nice barn, but it's very small. It's really tight. They don't really have a light show. It feels kind of. I see how it's hard to play there.
it is hard to play there.
I know that talking with some of the Havoc players, they've said that it's hard to play there just
Yeah.
because it feels so much smaller.
But we just don't really play good there in Birmingham.
We really don't.
But we do have some upcoming games with Birmingham. We need to win our Yellowhammer back.
I agree. I completely agree. But I will say that, from when we got the Yellowhammer in the beginning of the season or earlier in the season to the Birmingham Bulls team that is here now is a completely different team.
Oh yes, they're firing on all cylinders.
They are. They're probably one of the hottest teams in the SPHL.
Yes, they lost their last game, but they're still one of the hottest teams right now.
Yeah, I think out of their last 10, they went on a 7-win tear there, which that really brought them. They were towards the bottom end of that bracket, but what really brought them up was getting that core crew to finally gel and be able to start putting some shots on goal.
Yes, they were up there until they got that loss.
Yes.
Which really helped Huntsville to get back into fourth.
Yes.
And we need Huntsville to be in the top 4 so that way we can have the home ice advantage.
Which is huge for the Havoc players because they just love to play at home.
But the one thing the Havoc don't like is when they have to go to the Iceplex to play for the playoffs because they can't get their fans in there, and the atmosphere to them just isn't what the hype of the BBC is.
Well, with the size, I'm sure it's a lot like playing in Birmingham's barn, where it's really tight, it's really small. You can't get 6,000 fans.
No.
Rowdy and screaming. I'm sure the light show's not as different. I haven't got to experience a playoff game yet, so I'm really hoping that I don't have to. I want them to play at the VBC.
Yeah,
and
VBC for sure.
I know a lot of it plays into what the VBC has going on later in the season. But I don't know. We'll just have to see how playoffs work out. There's a lot of really good teams. The Havoc made a lot of roster moves as of late. A lot. We've had players come in and off of IR a lot. We cut some guys, we signed some guys, we got some fresh young talent. So we can kind of go over some of those. On February 24th, they put Frank Trezera on a 14-day IR.
Yeah, we do miss him.
Yeah, we do. Definitely a wrecking force on the glass. He can skate, he can shoot. He helps the team fire on all cylinders and well.
Yes, but I'm glad we didn't trade him though.
Me too. Speaking of trades, we traded Matt Allen.
Not happy about that one.
I think I got a little bit of a different opinion. I really like the kid they brought in from Pensacola, Dawson.
Yeah, he has made some good impact.
I think he has. He's had 3 shots on goal versus Roanoke and 2 assists versus Peoria.
But at the same time, Matt's stats were a lot better this year than they have been. He was performing better than he ever has.
And that's very possible. I just think Dawson fits in better with the team than Matt did. He's got that grit where he's going to go out there, he's going to play the glass, he's going to pass, he's going to shoot. And I think if it came down to it, he'll throw the gloves off.
Yes, and also he respects that Dom is the captain.
Yes.
You can definitely see that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, he's a younger guy, and I've seen Dom feed into him and give him wisdom. It's just like Brian Wilson's giving him wisdom too, being a goalie and just explaining younger players like how to defeat goalies and get shots in over them.
Right. And that's huge, especially when you have a goalie as good as Wilson, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Wilson's one of the best goalies in the league. So on the 26th, they released Lindbergh, and this is the one that hurts my heart. I really like Lindbergh. I thought he was a great shooter. I thought he was a good passer. I thought he played good defense. And I got a chance to meet him during I got a chance to meet him during family weekend, and he is an amazing guy.
Yes.
He's so soft spoken and kind, but when he puts those gloves on and he puts that bucket on, he's a different man on that ice. We also signed Chris Ishmael. Now, Chris Ishmael played at the University of Wisconsin Superior just this year, so he's as fresh as can be.
Yeah, he's very fresh. I didn't see him play much at college, but I'm looking forward to seeing how he progresses with the Huntsville Havoc.
Agreed.
Just to see, because just watching the last game on TV, they called his name a lot, and they putting him on the ice a lot to play a lot of minutes. And I think that's good that they trust him. And from what I understand, just from just talking to different people, that he was really good in college, and that he is going to benefit the Havoc for years to come.
And I agree with that. Like sitting there and watching him play on TV, he was on the ice a lot.
Yes.
And he was seemingly in a lot of plays. He played the glass, he passed well. For being so young and so new to the team, he really gelled to the team well, and he fits in so well with us. Then we got really lucky, right? So we got Connor Galloway back.
Well,
Hold on. So we got really lucky, and we got Connor Galloway back.
yeah, we did get Galloway back, but yeah, I don't think he gelled with his team in the ECHO very well because they kept adding him, deleting him, and adding him again, deleting him, and I just think it was a smart move for the Huntsville Havoc to get him back because he was here from the beginning of the season,
Right.
and the team trusts him,
Yeah.
and he can perform.
And he really has performed. And he does fit in so well with the Havoc. And like you said, it's because he has a lot of rapport with these guys. I mean, he's been with them for most of the season. Currently, he has 10 shots, a goal, and an assist. Now, to his credit, that goal is from over the weekend, which we'll get into a little bit later on how he got his goal. It was very, very nice to see him finally get one in the net. They lifted the suspension on Charlie Risk, and I think that was another huge move getting him back permanently.
Yes, I think the team really missed him and his just gritty style that he plays with.
Yeah.
And he's willing to just go out there and lay it all on the ice.
Yeah.
If he needs to go fight, he'll go fight. If he needs to step back and get an assist so that somebody else can get a goal, he's willing to do that.
He's a very good team player, but he's not afraid to shoot the puck either.
No,
he's had 15 shots so far this year since he's come back in the end of February.
Yes, he is not afraid to take the puck and hit it towards the goalie.
And I think that helps out a lot because when you put a lot of shots on, and especially with the group that the Havoc have, they have a lot of guys who can play by the net and get some assists and get these goals in there. And then the big one that everybody was kind of confused about, we released Skinner. I personally don't think it was a terrible move. I think Skinner didn't get a lot of time on the ice.
No, he did not get a lot of time on the ice.
I don't think it was real productive when he was on the ice. He gave up 10 goals in 5 games. So you're averaging 2 a game.
Yes.
And I believe one of those games he gave up 4.
He did, but at the same time, Brian Wilson was on his down trot too. He was allowing a lot of goals.
Yeah, agreed.
So I think he was feeding off of that down slot that Brian Wilson was going through and was struggling too.
I do agree with that, but I think that having that backup goalie, you need somebody whenever Brian Wilson's tired or he's struggling to step up and help the team to get some W's. And I just don't feel like Skinner did a good job of getting us some W's.
Skinner just wasn't the guy.
No, and I agree with that. And apparently the Havoc did too. The next day after we got rid of Skinner, they signed Alex Proctor.
I think I'm really excited about him.
I am too. Proctor played for the University of Wisconsin Stevens Point, so another northern team,
another Wisconsin school.
Having a small chance to talk to him, he's super excited to be here.
Yes, he is very excited. He really wants to gel with the team and be a team player.
Yeah, he does, and I think he has that grit. He has that I want to about him.
Yes, he wants to get in there. He wants to learn from the pros. He wants to learn from Brian Wilson and learn how to be a top tier SPHL goal.
I agree, and I'm sure this is professional hockey, so all these guys, they all want to move up eventually. Everybody's goal is to play in the show someday. So I think this is a good first step. I mean, he skipped FPHL right out of college, which I think is huge. And I'm really excited. I hope we get to see him on the ice sometime soon. I'd like to see what he's got. I've watching the game against Roanoke, I seen some of his gear from being on the sidelines, and I'm excited to see what he looks like fully havoced out.
Yes, but I don't know if they'll play him this year or not since it's so close to the end. But if they really need to give Willie a break just because he's just struggling, I think they would put him in. But as of now, I think they're just going to gear him up for next year. I think all these roster moves they're making with these young guys, they're looking forward to next year.
Well, I agree with you, but some of these roster guys have gotten some playing time. When we
Yes.
talked about Ishmael and Scariano, and these guys have come in and almost immediately hit the ice. So I think that eventually they're going to give Proctor a chance. I just think that they want to find the right matchup. I don't think you want to set him up against an Evansville.
No.
I don't think you want to set him up against some of these top, really need to win games. And that's a lot of pressure on a rookie. That's a lot of pressure on somebody on a new team, first game, big stadium. I mean, that's a lot.
But I think right now with as tight as the race is, I think they'll keep Wilson in.
I don't disagree with it. Just, I guess, hopeful.
Yes.
So then March 5th.
Yes. But also one thing that Alex Proctor really wants to do is he wants to get a goal.
I would love to see him get a goalie goal.
That is his dream. He wants to get a goalie goal.
I think that would be really cool to see. So then we'll get back to some of these roster signings. On March 5th, they signed Dylan Robbins. And Robbins played at UMass Boston, which is a pretty good hockey school, to be honest. I'd like to see more of what he can do. I'd like to see him more on the ice. And get some of these younger guys a little bit more playing time and get them fit in. It is hard though because of the roster that we've had. I mean, honestly, if they can gel together, they're stacked.
Yeah, if they can gel right now, they're stacked.
They're stacked for a playoff.
This has been the most roster changes throughout the SPHL history that has happened with as tight as the race is.
I could see that. All right, so let's dive into the games over the weekend, shall we? The Havoc traveled to Roanoke take on the Rail Yard Dogs. Luckily for us, Havoc fans, we got to have Jacob Murphy travel up there to do the away feed. And I just have to say, watching his away feed is awesome. He does such a good job of pumping up both sides. He's not real partial. It's hard to do anything when he's talking because he gets so excited that I just can't concentrate.
Yeah, I mean, you could be cooking catfish or grilling your back porch, and he would start yelling, and you'd be like, "What did that man just say? I gotta stop. Let this food burn." See what excitement he's getting on.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he does his broadcast just reminds me of an NHL type broadcast.
Yeah.
He just gets so excited and into it, and it makes you just want to watch the game.
Agreed.
And he's such a good commentator. He can make you cheer for the wrong team.
He does do a very good job of being neutral and cheering for both sides as he's in his broadcast. He compliments both teams. He just does a fantastic job in my opinion.
He makes sure that he stays true to the broadcast he's doing for the team.
Exactly.
He still gives you stats, but gets excited throughout the game.
Agreed. So they traveled to Roanoke on March 6th. Unfortunately, they came up a little short in this one. They lost this game 2-1. They were outshot 29-28.
Which is not terribly bad.
It's not. It's really, really not. The part that hurt was that they were 0 for 2 on power plays.
Yeah, that stings.
And they were 3 for 4 on penalty kills, which isn't terrible.
No.
But those penalty kills you kind of want to be 100% on, which is, I mean, we're shooting for perfection.
But that just goes to show that the Havoc this season have been a better penalty kill team than a power play team.
They have been, and their stats show that. If you look them up on SPHL, the stats show that they are better at killing penalties than power plays.
Yes, they really are.
So I thought the Havoc really played well in this game. It hurt, however, being down Kessner, Risk, and Reginato. I think that was a big part of this, not having a guy that likes to shoot, a guy who can really score goals, and a bruiser who likes to fight.
Yeah, I really feel like we needed those guys.
Yeah.
And just having Risk come back. And Reggie, he likes to fight. He likes to get out there and he likes to fight.
He's good at it too.
He's really good at fighting. We all love Reggie for it, and Risk can fight too. But Kessner, he has experience from the AHL and the ECHL, and he brings that to the team.
And also from playing abroad, he played in 6 or 7 different countries.
And also a lot of people don't know that he's from Huntsville.
Yes,
he was born and raised in Huntsville, and they ended up moving to Michigan, where he actually learned how to really play hockey up there. And they came back down here to play hockey at UAH, and that's how he really got engrossed into Huntsville, and how he really made his hockey.
That's awesome.
And the Havoc fans, you could tell from just game one, really loved Kessner. I don't know if it was the Huntsville factor, they actually saw him play and wow, he can actually contribute to this team.
He just has those dad vibes. He reminds me, even when you look at their outfits that they come to the stadium in, he's always in some sweatpants and some sneakers and
Yes.
a hat. He's always just got those dad vibes. But I also think because of his experience, that's kind of who he is. He from playing in all of these leagues, a lot of these guys lean on him. I know watching their pregame, you can almost always see Lindsey and Kessner joking, laughing, and they're just tied to the hip almost the entire warm up.
And also a lot of people lean on Kessner because of his experience.
Yes.
And
he offers a lot of leadership to the team, even being, this year with the Havoc.
Yes, and Charlie Risk, he was being overseas too. He gets that overseas experience just like Kessner has.
Yeah.
And then Reggie, he's been with the team the longest.
Yes.
So he has the experience of being in Huntsville, playing hockey for so long. And these three guys, other than our captain Dom,
right,
and his brother Gio that helped out the team, these three guys really can help our younger guys that we've signed to really grow into great hockey players.
I agree. I completely agree with that. I think that the Havoc did very well of not getting baited into penalties and chaos. Roanoke is very good at causing chaos, obviously by their penalty minutes.
Yes.
But the Havoc didn't play out of place. Lindsey had the most penalty minutes. He went to the box for 4 minutes, which is pretty good for Lindsey because Lindsey can go to the box and spend some good amount of time. That's another guy that likes to fight.
Lindsey seems to have the trouble of he wants to just be a hothead, go out there on the ice and just forget the game sometimes and just be like, I'm just gonna rough him up.
But I also think that Lindsey's standing up for guys. Watching some of these games, they like to pick on people like Cole Golka. He's one of the smaller guys, and they absolutely love to dominate him. And Lindsey just won't stand for it.
No.
And I think that's probably one of the things that I really like about Lindsey is that he's such a team player. He'll take those penalty minutes, but he has your back.
Yes, he definitely has your back. It was just there was one game where they kept picking on Connor Fries a lot.
Yes.
And Lindsey and Frankie stood up and they just went all out on the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's really good of team gelling. They all stand up for each other. They're all really good to each other, and they all know that each other has their back.
Yes.
And it shows in some of those instances where these guys will, they'll hit you a little harder in the corner and rub you a little more and throw the gloves off if need be.
But the game I was most excited about was the next day.
We'll get there. So Cole Golka and Phil Elkstam led the team with 5 shots apiece.
5 shots apiece. That's pretty good.
And Phil is actually who scored the only goal of the night with an assist by Gio. Gio has really been a very good assist guy. He also scores goals, but he always seems to be just in the right place at the right time to help somebody out. His passes have been great. I really like Gio on the ice. He's a lot of fun to watch.
Yes, but Gio still, he knows how to score.
He does know how to score, and he's really good at it as well. So the next day, super chippy game.
Oh, yeah. So I was super excited to see them come back and play him again because I was hoping they would just beat him outright.
And they kind of did.
They kind of did.
I didn't get to see about any suspensions, but did you see Connor Galloway get put in a headlock in the trapezoid?
Oh, yes. He so did.
He was not happy about that. And I'm curious to see if anything comes from that from the SPHL or what's going to happen with this ref crew. Because in my opinion, the refs never had control of either of these games.
No.
There were a lot of penalties that weren't called. There were a lot of things that started to progress, and I'm shocked that there were no fights.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that really blows me away about these games.
There was a lot of high sticks as well that they missed.
There was, and there were some cross checks they missed.
Yeah, because you would watch it on TV and they would go back and show the replay and just the high sticks they had to the eyes, the nose,
Yeah.
and it's just like, how can the ref not see that when they're standing right there looking at him?
That's the only thing I could guess.
Yeah, that's about
3 blind mice on the ice.
Yeah, I think that's why this year they've been trying to have two lead refs on the ice,
Right.
and then the two backups on there with them,
Yeah.
so they could try to get more penalties, but they're still missing them.
And I think you're going to have that in some of these leagues.
Yeah.
These refs I think they try their best. I don't want to say they're all bad. They obviously miss stuff. I think there's a point where you let the guys play, but then at
There
some
is.
point you've got to rein it in,
There
and
is.
you've got to. People are going to get hurt when you just let the game continuously get out of control.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't realize how fast hockey moves and how fast the game is. So yeah, the refs are definitely going to miss penalties.
Absolutely,
I mean,
especially when it
yeah.
happens behind their back.
I mean, hockey's one of the fastest games like out there in of any sports.
Yeah, I mean the guys on the ice usually only play 1 minute splits,
Oh yeah.
and it's full out sprints for a minute.
Oh, definitely. And if they're playing more than a minute, they're tired.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if I could sprint for a minute straight.
I don't know.
I'd struggle. The Havoc won 1-0 on the shootout, but they also won the shots on goal battle 30-28.
Yes.
Slim margin, but different from the night before.
Yes, way different.
They did have a lot of penalties. I will say that there were a lot of penalties from both sides. Everybody kind of served. I think it was 15 and 16.
Yeah, there was a lot.
There was a good bit of penalties in this one. They kind of tried to rein it in a little bit. But the Havoc were 0 for 5 on power plays.
Yeah, the Havoc just really have not done good on power plays, especially on the road.
Yes.
They're a lot better at home because the fans get up with them on power plays. But on the road, it's just super hard. The other fan base just yelling at you and screaming at you, and just they just don't like you.
No, I mean, and that's how it is going to another person's barn
It
too.
is.
They don't like you in their barn.
It is. But I was really impressed with Wilson in that shootout.
Yes.
Shootout win.
I mean, really, the whole game in general, right? Wilson made some absolutely great saves. And there were a lot of them that Willie from a few weeks ago would have missed. But he was locked in. He looked like playoff Willie. He was ready.
Yes, but also there was a lot of shots that hit the bar that hit the bar for us too that we thought went in.
Right.
It didn't. Really, I think both goalies were playing their best game. They were ready for the playoffs.
Agreed.
But it was a playoff type of game. There was a lot of chippiness. They were just ready for the playoffs.
Right.
It's like they're just right there on the cusp of, and they can just taste it, and they're just ready for it because they can sense how tight the race is.
Oh, they know. I'm sure Coach Stu is letting them know as well.
Yes, but with Peoria being in the top doesn't mean anything. Because
No.
Evansville being number 7 last year won outright. So it's anybody's to win right now.
You never know who can be your dark horse in the playoffs. It just depends on when the team gels at the right
Yes,
time.
and I think the Havoc with their veterans they have are gelling, and just to have that supporting crew.
Yeah.
That's just with those young guys to be able just to come in when they're tired and get those minutes.
Yeah. And it helps out a whole lot,
Yeah,
especially the guys that they're putting on the ice. They have a good bit of talent as well. I mean,
oh yes,
they're no slums either. Even though they're new, they're all producing.
Yes, and I think like Ishmael, I think if he keeps going the way he is, he could end up in the ECHL and possibly the AHL.
I don't disagree with that. That kid can play.
He really
for
can.
sure. The Havoc were 4 for 4 on penalty kills. Absolute perfection.
Yes, like I've said, they are one of the top penalty kill teams in the SPHL.
This game was a lot of fun to watch. The cardiac pack kept us in it the entire time.
Yes. Oh, yes, for sure.
I mean, they had a lot of great shots. They played really good defense. And I think that's one of the things for me that really separated them to keep them in this, where they were putting bodies on pucks. They were playing the corners hard. They were stealing passes.
Yes.
They were giving Willie so much help that it kind of took a load off of him a little bit.
Yes, the defense was really helping. Especially Lincoln. He was staying right there with him. Lincoln Earn was staying right there with
Yes.
Willie. Because there was one game this season where
Willie Earn's our second goalie.
Yes, Earn he really is, because there was one game this season where Willie was just out of place and the puck was about to go in, and Lincoln Earn came in and swooped it away.
That save was NHL worthy.
It
by the
was,
way.
and I think it's the save of the year, honestly.
It has to be. I mean, it was toeing the line
I
of
mean,
a
out of
goal.
all the teams I have seen and all the saves I've seen this year throughout the SPHL, that is number one in my book.
Talking about Wilson, I think he got robbed in this game. I thought for sure he was going to get 1 star of the game.
Yes.
And he didn't. They gave it to the goalie in Roanoke, and I just thought that was wrong. Like, you lost the shootout and you still get the 1 star?
Yeah, how do you give a guy that just lets the Havoc win be a 1 star?
I mean, it was insane to watch them in that shootout. I know me and you were talking about it during the game, and it was kind of curious about how was this going to go. The Havoc aren't always so great in shootouts. They killed it.
Oh, they killed it.
They killed it.
They may have missed one, but the rest of them are on par.
So Ethan Lindsay got 2 stars of the game, and he didn't have any goals or any assists, but I think it came down to his defense.
Oh, his defense.
He played the corners hard. He hit some guys.
He did.
Went out and hit some guys.
He put some bruises on him for
He
sure.
definitely made him know he was there. And then the 3rd star of the game, Connor Galloway.
Connor Galloway. Connor Galloway.
Yep, he got his goal. He was the last person in the shootout, so he got credited with his goal. And I think all of the guys that went through the shootout really were shooting their best stuff out there.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
they really confused the other goalie.
Definitely so. So Gio Procopio led the Havoc with 5 shots, and he was followed by Dom Procopio and Charlie Risk at 4 shots each. Dom's not a guy who shoots a whole lot.
No, he's really not. And I was kind of impressed by how many shots he had.
I wasn't. His shots looked really good.
They did.
I think it created a lot of situations at the net that could have set them up for better success. Their goalie, he was just really on his game. Yeah, he really had great stuff that night.
Once he realized Dom was really starting to shoot a little bit, he was like, wow, I got to watch this guy. Because at first the other team was like confused. Why is Dom shooting? I mean, why is he not being captain? He's shooting.
Yeah, and I mean, Dom can shoot. He can score goals too.
He can.
It's just a rare thing, really.
Yeah, usually Dom will get more of an assist.
Yes.
Then he will get a goal.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that likes to play up by the net, especially on defense.
Yeah.
He's a guy that, like you said with Earn, he's a guy that's almost right there with our goalie.
Yes, he right there. They're like Earn's like Willie's left-hand man.
Yes.
Brian Wilson's left-hand man, which we like to call Brian Wilson Willie, for those that don't know. Since I said Willie.
Yep, I have as well.
That in. And like Lincoln is just his left-hand man, Dom's his right-hand man.
Yeah.
They've got his back, and they're always going to be there for him.
So Wilson did great in the shootout. He only gave up 1, 2.
Yeah, he gave up 1.
He gave up 1?
Gave up 1.
He got his 10th career shutout.
Yes, which I'm very impressed.
I am as well. The big one for me is he got his 4th on the year.
Oh, yes.
That's amazing.
That is
for a goalie.
Yes.
I mean, shutouts are something that's really hard to come by, especially as fast as the game is and as many shots as they're having to deal with. And I can't imagine how hard it is to be a goalie and sitting in the net and having 3 guys right in front of you and have to figure out where the puck is.
Yeah, I think Brian Wilson was really back to where he was in the beginning of the season, where he was locked in when the Havoc were up at the top of the standings.
Yeah, he looked that way.
And just the middle of the season, it just feels like there was so many changes that he just couldn't gel with the team, and he was just felt tired.
Yeah, I could see that. And during that time, they weren't really playing. They weren't really helping Wilson out a lot either.
No.
They weren't playing great defense. They weren't getting in front of the pucks. There were a lot of breakaways. There was a lot of 2-on-1s, and they kind of didn't give him a whole lot of help there, I felt. But I felt like they're getting back into that groove again. I think getting some of these veteran players back, along with some of these young kids that are a breath of fresh air and kind of mingling it all together. They're starting to really gel and move forward. And we'll find out more about that this weekend.
Yes, we will. I just think the one thing overall that really helped is going to help the Havoc is having a solid backup goalie.
Yes.
Alex is young, but from his college days, he is good enough to be a starter.
He's definitely a unit back there in his college days. I'm excited to see what he does in that
It's just Wilson has just felt so tired because he hasn't had a solid backup.
Yeah, everything was on him, even when they had Skinner, because I mean, I think the team kind of felt, and this is my own opinion, but I think that the team kind of felt whenever Skinner was in there, they had to work extra hard.
Yes.
They had to score a lot of goals and they had to play a lot of defense, and it wears on you.
Yeah, it does.
So the Havoc traveled to Knoxville this weekend on Saturday. The Havoc are 2-2, 1-0 against the Ice Bears. But the Ice Bears are right there in it. They're not far
But
off.
now we have to bear in mind here. You know, I said bear in mind for the Ice Bears that Steven Mundinger hasn't been there, and they played a lot. Those games they played were with Steven Mundinger in the goal.
That is correct. And Mundinger being out is, I mean, that's a crippling,
and that's unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, what a great goalie. The guy is huge at 6'8". I mean, he is the whole inside.
He's right up there with Wilson being one of the top goalies.
Agreed.
I mean, he's got a great personality.
Yeah.
And just off the ice and just what he does with coaching kids.
Yeah.
And
super nice and interactive guy. He'll talk to anybody.
It's just like Dom for the Havoc. He coaches kids during the summer.
Yeah.
And that's just great that these hockey players off the ice are just willing to help these kids.
Yeah.
That want to play hockey.
I think Ethan Lindsay, I seen on his Instagram, is going to be coaching hockey too, coaching some kids now.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
So I'll be excited to see that. So the most recent, the Ice Bears came to the Havoc and beat them 4-3. And like you said, Mundinger was in the goal at that time. But then we go to Evansville. And this is absolutely huge.
Yes.
This is a must-win showdown. We're 3-3 against them this year, so it's not unheard of to beat them.
No.
And it seems that we play against Evansville really well. They're a bigger team. They like to rough you up.
They definitely do, and it seems like their size is just a lot massive.
They are. There's some big boys.
Big boys, yes.
There. The most recent though, we lost to them 1-0 in Evansville. So not terrible. But we are having to travel to Evansville again. I'm interested to see how it turns out.
I think we can take them.
I think we can too.
I think right now with the team we've got and how I'm seeing them come together, like after they had that shutout, like Brian Wilson had that shutout and they did that shootout win. You could just see at the end when they were celebrating with each other.
Yeah,
they just looked like a family, and like just this weight came off of them.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think we can go up there and just dominate them. And the people that are going on the bus trip, I think they can really be a big support too.
I agree, and I know that the Booster Club put on the bus trip. I got my ticket to Knoxville before the bus trip, and I am not doing both. That's too much travel for me in a weekend.
Yes.
I don't know how these boys do it.
Yes, but one thing I like about the Knoxville Arena is those seats.
Yeah, the wood seats I'm not excited for.
Yeah, those things look very painful.
Yeah, I'll let you know how that goes.
but just watching some of their games on TV, the atmosphere is great in there as well.
Yeah, it does seem like it's a very lively crowd, so I'm interested to see. I know that the fan group is doing a takeover. So there's going to be a lot of Havoc fans that are traveling up.
Yes.
So that'll be interesting to see if we can kind of dominate that.
Yeah, that's not too bad of a drive, but it's about a 4-hour drive.
Yep.
To get up to there and I will say though, Knoxville's last jerseys where they had the lumberjack with the Tennessee orange. I was indifferent. I liked it, but I didn't.
I kind of agree with you on that one. I do. I kind of liked them, but I also, and maybe it's because it was on TV that I couldn't really see what the vest was. I couldn't tell if we were going fishing or if we were just out in the back cutting wood. I think both of these games they win. I think they win both of these games.
I think they can go in and sweep Knoxville. I think they can shut out Knoxville. They can go and shut out Knoxville. I think Evansville will score some goals on us, but I think we're gonna have to get at least 4 goals to win.
I don't think it's gonna be that much. I think it's gonna be tight. I think the Evansville game is going to be tight, but I think the Havoc blow it open against Knoxville.
The one thing about Knoxville that a lot of people don't realize is that when you play there, their goal is actually orange because of the Tennessee orange.
I didn't notice that.
Because most of the teams, their goals are red.
Right.
Around the rims.
I seen one that was like a baby blue.
Yes.
That was interesting. That's got to be hard to see on the ice.
Yeah, I think it would be hard to see, but that Tennessee orange,
you can't miss that.
I think with us being like the Alabama going to Tennessee,
yeah,
I think that gives us a lot of motivation.
Yeah, I agree.
To go up there and beat them.
So Knoxville's in 7th place, but like we said earlier, 5 points separate 2 to 7. And they're only 4 points behind the Havoc. It's I mean, like we said, it's a must-win game. I think they do. I think they score 3 goals.
We definitely need to win. I think they can score 3 goals, but with the way the Havoc have been playing, I don't think they'll get 3 goals. I think we'll go up there and we'll dominate them, and they'll sneak in 1 goal on us.
I could see a 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1, 2-1.
3-1, 2-1. Yeah, I could see that. Evansville, though. Oh, I mean, it's going to be a tight game. I don't think it's going to be another 1-0. I think it'll be like a 2-1.
Or do you think it could be like the game that they just...
It could be a shootout game.
And do you think the refs will have control of the game?
I don't know, because Evansville, I'm not going to say they like to play dirty, but they're very physical.
They are physical.
They're very physical, so I think the refs are going to have to keep an eye out. I know that the second half of this SPHL season, they're having 4 officials on the ice, so I think that might help a little bit with a lot of Evansville's
I think when
behind the back.
I think when they get into fights too, that'll help too, because the players are a lot stronger than these refs.
Yeah, they are. Evansville and Pensacola's in 3rd. We don't play Pensacola anymore. We're done with them until playoffs. They're tied in points, but Evansville has a better percentage.
Yes, that is correct. Their win percentage is a lot better.
Considering the tightness of this playoff race and to keep home ice, what's our best case scenario and what's our worst case scenario for the weekend?
That's going to be very tough. I just think that...
So I'll give you a little bit of support in this one, and we can bundle it all together. Pensacola is the 3rd place team.
Yeah.
They travel to Macon. Macon's near the bottom at 8th.
But Macon knows how to win.
Macon has figured out ways to win. Pensacola's a tough team, though.
Yeah.
But I think that they're not as good now as they were originally when we played them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Roanoke's 4th, and they travel to Birmingham. We talked a little bit about Birmingham earlier. They're 7-2-0-1. They're the hottest team in the SPHL right now. What happens there? The Bulls are in 6th place. They're 2 points behind Roanoke and Huntsville. This is where it gets fun, right?
Yeah.
Because, everybody has to win because it's so tight.
Yeah, with the Bulls being one of the hottest teams, and they just got beat outright.
Yeah.
Does that end that right there, or do they keep on going?
I don't think they keep going. I think Birmingham beats them twice.
Wow.
I think Birmingham beats them twice. Birmingham's goalies have really stepped up as of late.
Especially Hayden Stewart.
Yes, Stewart, he won SPHL Player of the Month in February.
Yes, he did.
He's been playing phenomenal. Joseph went on a 3-game shutout streak.
He did, indeed.
I don't think Roanoke has enough to beat Birmingham, especially not with Wood and Gagnon. With the scores that Birmingham has, I just don't think Roanoke has enough to keep up.
No, because Birmingham, they know how to score. And when they score, they get on a hot streak.
Now, I will give credit to Roanoke. They've got one of the top scorers and one of the top assist men in the league. So it's not like they can't score goals. I just think going and playing in that small barn in Birmingham is going to be too much to suffocate them.
Birmingham just wins at home. And the Havoc are like proof that Birmingham wins at home, because the Havoc just can't win down here.
It's so hard to win there.
That's our in-state rival, but we just can't do it.
There's a lot of teams who say it's really hard to win down there, and they have a feisty crowd. They can get a little loud.
I don't know if it's like the arena psychs them out, or if it just something mental because it's just like, why are we playing here?
I think
Not
it's
dumb.
I think it's mental, and I think it's a little bit of the arena because I think they play together. I think that the arena is so small, the ice feels smaller. It
Yeah.
just feels like the walls are all closing in. There's not a lot of room in there. From having been there, it's not it's not the VBC. It's
No.
not great and grand. It's a very small rink. I think they only sit a few thousand people.
Yes, and also having to go play some of the games at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're not used to that.
No, that was hard. That was
Very
hard.
hard. And then Evansville, some of their games are at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and I think that's crazy on a Thursday. And I think a lot of these teams are doing this for the school showcase games.
Yes.
To allow the kids to take field trips and go out and see the hockey games. And I think that's awesome because I think you get kids that can get inspired and get into it and kind of keep the game alive.
Yes.
But it's got to be so hard for a team to drop the puck at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Yes.
Phew.
But you mentioned school day showcases and
Yeah.
stuff. I think the Huntsville Havoc school day showcase that a lot of people went to, they said it was really good. Yeah, there's a lot of screaming kids, but just the players just love it when they get to be in front of a crowd of kids.
Yeah.
Versus mainly adults.
And they do a lot of stuff for kids. I mean, last week they went and did Reading with America for the kids,
Yes.
and that was pretty funny to see some of those clips as well, and watching those guys kind of interact with the kids and seeing what those guys are like. So Pensacola at home against Macon. Prediction:
I think Pensacola wins at home.
1 or 2 games.
They sweep the
They sweep it.
sweep it.
So we've got Pensacola sweeping, we've got Birmingham sweeping, and we've got the Havoc sweeping their games this weekend. I think that'll make for an interesting playoff.
Yes, yes, and definitely will.
It'll bump Huntsville up to third. Roanoke's going to drop back a few, obviously, if they get 2 losses to Birmingham. Birmingham's going to jump up, I think, from 6th into 5th or 4th.
Yes.
Um,
But the one thing the Havoc need to keep doing, if Birmingham keeps winning, we need to keep winning.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Because at one point, Birmingham was ahead of us. And we don't like that.
No, I didn't like that at all.
Because that put us at the away advantage in the playoffs against them.
Yeah, and again, like we said, that's not a place that the Havoc really want to go play.
No.
We need to be in the VBC for those games.
Definitely.
And we'll get a good test of that in a few weeks. Birmingham comes up and plays us for a weekend in the VBC, and we'll be able to see what playoff could look like at that point. Because they're going to be in peak form. We seem to be in peak form. The Havoc have a lot of good hockey.
And I think our captain really wants the Yellowhammer back because he liked how it felt in his hands.
Yeah,
he really did when he got to take it across the ice.
Yeah,
just show it in front of the fans. I think that was
the pride.
Really a good moment. And also, don't forget we get to play the Roanoke Railroad Dogs at home. Yeah.
We do. We get
2
them
more
back.
times.
We get them back for another weekend. So that'll be fun. Getting them to come into our barn and play, and I think it'll be a different outcome. I think. Again, I think that the Havoc can really go on a tear here and tear off 6 or 7.
Yeah, we're pretty good at home, but on the road we're pretty just even kill.
Yeah, agreed. Well, Fraser, any final thoughts?
Well, we do have to highlight the Trash Pandas a little bit.
Yeah, we do.
We need to highlight them and that they're just getting started and they're just getting things rolling, but they're not releasing anything just yet.
They're not. Angels are in spring training right now.
Yes.
We're under 30 days till first pitch. I think we're at 25 now. We should know rosters end of March-ish. So in the next few weeks, we'll get to see what the rosters look like, and we'll talk more about that on the podcast and kind of break those down, get some statistics from last year, see who's coming and who's going from last year's roster, and we'll just keep moving forward.
Yep, and then we may do something fun and highlight the mascots.
That would be fun. That would be fun. They have a lot of fun names. There's a lot of fun names.
Chaos and Ruckus for the Havoc.
Yeah.
And obviously we mentioned the Goat.
Yep, the Cosmic Goat.
Cosmic Goat. And then we got Sprocket for the Trash Pandas.
Yep. Yep. They are all definitely unique names.
Yes, they sure are.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the Orbit Sports Podcast by Shotgun Sports. Stay in orbit.